we've talked a little bit about risks which, bedevil the whole continent. There's one big risk we must talk about, which is the youth bubble.
Tell me more.
So today, 75% of the continent are youth.
Which is great. If you look at Europe, we're all getting too old.
Exactly.
So there's actually...
Exactly.
I look at it as positive.
So it's positive if you use it properly, if you exploit it. And exploit it in a good way.
Don't exploit children.
No, not in a bad way. Maybe exploiting is the wrong choice of words.
If you put it to work.
If you leverage it.
That's a good word.
If you leverage it. Because your youth are your strength. Because that's your future. And those are the guys who are tech savvy. Those are the guys who don't have any issues around, the old ethnic and regional hang-ups. That's where the future is.
Yeah.
And as you've said rightly, Europe, Asia, even China. China had a one-child policy. Now they're struggling. Now they actually flipped it around and they ask people to have more babies because the next generation is at risk.
Mm-hmm.
So in Africa, we have the youth bubble, which can be a youth dividend if it's leveraged.
What does it need to leverage that?
Now, that's exactly it. We need to fix those other issues. We need to sort out the governance, stop the corruption. We need to have proper governance, proper infrastructure in place. We need to invest in infrastructure. We need to have, and infrastructure includes technology, it includes power, it includes roads, all of that needs to be in place. We need to encourage more home manufacturing, value addition, so we can trade more locally. All of those need to be done because as you're doing all of that, you're actually creating jobs.
Yeah.
And creating jobs, by the way, we need to debunk this. Jobs does not mean going to sit in an office, in a white-collar job. That's not what a job is. Job is just a means of income. Yeah. We should encourage people to set up businesses and have a means of income, which is why the Silicon Savannah is very relevant.
Yeah.
Because the Silicon Savannah recognizes that jobs are going to be informal, and informal jobs are not a bad thing. Informal jobs are actually the employers of the future.
Yeah, people can have a portfolio career, doing multiple jobs at the same time.
Exactly. You can employ others. You can create jobs for others.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about, investing and leveraging on technology.
Yeah.
So those are the sort of things it'll take. Now, going back to your initial question, VC versus PE challenges we are seeing. The thing with venture capital businesses is, one, the failure rate is higher in Africa than you'll find in other places because of all the problems we've talked about. If you don't have the infrastructure, etc. So that's always going to be higher. So it's tougher to get a unicorn in Africa than it is in other places. Mm-hmm. But, and we'll come to the buts later. So that's one issue is a success rate. It's a tougher environment.